Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the narcissist's quest for power and control, which you better believe is the fundamental reason why they do everything. I know that there are many different motivations that might be there for the narcissist, but you better trust and believe that at the root of every single last bit of it is the quest and the desire for power and control over other people. When you get down to the bottom of it, people will often say, follow the money, follow the money. And there's truth to that. Whenever you're talking about corruption, especially on a global scale, on a mass scale. But you know why? Do you know why following the money leads you to the perpetrators or leads you to the cause of whatever catastrophe, maniacal scheme is going on? Do you know why? It's because money is the ultimate conduit to power. The elites of our world, they're not out there. Many of these people are billionaires. They have hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of billions of dollars. They don't need more money. It's not simply just to have more money. Instead, what they want is absolute power and control, because that is the biggest thing a person in all the world can have. That's the very thing that the devil wants. He wants more power and more control than what he was given. And that's exactly what the narcissist wants. So you wonder why they do everything. That's why. So let me talk a little bit about the ways this pans out. Number one, think of it this way. Why do they triangulate? What are they really trying to do? Yes, they're trying to invoke jealousy. They're trying to make you insecure. They're trying to make you compare yourself to people that you just met somewhere, or the waiter or waitress at the place you're eating, or some ex that they had, because they absolutely love bringing up their exes. Every time they bring up an ex, that is triangulation. That's pitting you against them. That's having you compare yourself to them. That's trying to invoke jealousy, insecurity. Stay away from anybody who talks very much at all about exes. I'm not saying that you can't ever talk about it, that it's unhealthy to ever mention it. Of course, it comes up in the natural course of things at some level. But anybody who is constantly bringing up the ex all the time, or they're bringing up many people, gone. Cut it off. Done. Walk away. There's a million things probably wrong with that person, but what they're also doing is triangulating you. But at the core of their triangulation, what does it do when you break someone down through that means to make them jealous and insecure and to doubt themselves? What that does is it gives the narcissist, you know what? Power and control. That's what it does. Because if they can make you feel that way by bringing someone else into the mix, they're going to have more and more and more control over you. And that's the whole goal. So, yes, there are myriad things that occur when they triangulate, but the biggest one is, of course, the power and control aspect. What about when you're in the devaluation stage and you got the puppies, the rainbows, the fluffy clouds, the promises, the I love yous, and oh, you're my soulmate, you're my twin flame. After that stops, when they know they, think about this, when they know they what? Have you. That's when the devaluation begins. So that alone tells you something, doesn't it? The narcissist stops the love bomb and starts the devaluation stage when they know they have you. In other words, when they know that they now have control over you. You're invested. You're in a pliable place where they can begin to exercise power and authority over you. That's why the deval starts. And it's like clockwork. It might be 5 days after you said I love you that they manufacture a crisis out of absolutely nothing. Thin air, smoke, nothing there whatsoever. But you told them 5 days earlier that you loved them. And so then they knew, I've got this person. Let the games begin. That's why they did it. So in the deval, what do? They devalue you. They cut, they criticize, they do everything they can to make you feel smaller and smaller and less than and less than. Because as I've said many times before, you can't cook, you can't clean, you can't drive, you're unreliable, you're a bad partner, you're not there for me, you're this, dit, 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 dit. It's never ending. You can't do a cotton picking thing correctly for the narcissist and up to their standards. And every time they do that, it wears just a little bit down on your self esteem, your value, your self worth. It just shrinks and shrinks and shrivels, doesn't it? And that's by design. And ask yourself the question then, why would anybody want to do that? I think you know. Because if they can get you down and beat you down and make you feel less than and inferior and all that, just like with triangulation, if they can cut you and criticize you and turn you into a fine powder, what does that allow them to do? Obtain power and control over your life. They can then control and manipulate you. They have the authority over you in your life. And that's what they want above everything else. What about this major way this manifests? And this is an extremely predominant thing that exists today. I've railed about it, and here I'm going to rail about it again because it's this pervasive. Ghosting. When you are building something up with somebody over the course of weeks or even months, and you think it's just starting to go somewhere, and then out of nowhere, whew, gone. You get Caspered. They disappear. Why did they do that? Or let's say you're in a relationship with the person. You've been with them for maybe months or perhaps years, and out of nowhere, boom, they vanish. Why did they do that? Because when someone ghosts you, unless you really understand the game and exactly what is going on, as I now do, and some of you now do, because we've been through it, but if you don't really understand it, it will wreck you. Ghosting is one of the most harmful things that exists, and it is rampant today. All these people messing around on dating sites will be talking to people and then they're gone. You'll be texting people and then they're gone. You'll be building something. You'll be on a couple dates with somebody even, and then they're gone. Just poof, poof. And it screws with your mind. And guess what? That's exactly what it was supposed to do. Get you to doubt yourself. Ask what I did wrong. What could I have done differently? What's wrong with me? What did I do? And more importantly, it's supposed to get you to do one particular thing, I think above even those things. Can you guess what it is? That's right. It's supposed to get you to chase after the person who ghosted you. People, yes, if you haven't experienced this, I'm telling you the God honest truth. It is prominent today for people to build something up with a person and then just disappear, leave them on red or not respond for days, and just go silent like the person never existed and like your situation never existed. And I've been through this, and it sucks to oblivion if you don't know what is going on with it. And I did, and finally I do, but it was hard. And what it was supposed to do is get you to doubt yourself and to pine after that person and to chase after them. Oh, baby, like what where are you going? What I do? You don't want to give us another chance? Not even another date? Like what happened? Because then what have you done? When you chase after a person who ghosted you, which is extraordinarily disrespectful, to just disappear, to not even be willing to answer anything from you, no communication, no explanation, extremely disrespectful thing. But if you chase after them, then what did that just do? You know the answer. It shifted your power over yourself and your control over yourself over to them. You gave your power to that person who ghosted you, and that was the point. So ghosting, insidious, disgusting. I can't stand it. At least I know what it is, and so do you now. So if someone's doing that and you're building something up and then they vanish and won't even respond to you, that sort of thing, hit the road. Don't even don't doubt yourself, don't ask questions, don't wonder what you could have done wrong. The truth is nothing. You didn't do anything wrong. It's about them, it's not about you. It's about them, it's not about you. Because any sort of healthy, halfway decent person will at least respond or at least give you some explanation if you ask them. Toxic people, of which there are many, in which it's most of the population, they will ghost and they won't care. And yes, they'll, if you don't chase after them, sometimes they'll just keep going because they've got so many other people on the hook. That's our society. See my last video. Sometimes, though, what they'll do is they'll chime back in after a while. If you don't chase them, they'll start to send you little phantom texts, poking, prodding. Oh, you're supposed to chase me. Because it backfired. It blew up in their face. You didn't take the bait. And then they start to doubt themselves. Well, am I not that good at what I'm doing anymore? Didn't I thought I had this person and they didn't chase me after I ghosted them. So am I losing my touch? Ghosting is about power and control. That's the point. Silent treatment and stonewalling, same deal. When someone intentionally will not talk to you, storms out of a room, bulls, or gives you the, I'm not going to do this today. Maybe you caught them in a terrific lie, and instead of talking about it, they're going to say, I'm not doing this today. And they leave and they won't talk to you the whole rest of the day. What that's trying to do is turn the tide, get you again to chase them. Baby, what's wrong? What I do? I'm sorry. And they'll do this, narcissists will do this until you apologize to them for something they did to you, because that's how it works. But that is a power move. That is for them to obtain complete control over you. And I actually had the narcissist, tell me at various times, I feel like I'm losing control in this relationship. I feel like the control is shifting. When it wasn't, it was just reciprocal. For little periods of time, it was just reciprocal. A little bit here and there. And then she felt like she was losing power and control. That is what they are deathly afraid of. So silent treatment, stonewalling, not giving you answers, not responding, or just disappearing, bullying, that is to obtain power and control. Even the love bomb, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. The love bomb was for the sole purpose, as we know, of getting you on the hook. But why? Ask the fundamental question, why does someone want so badly to get you on the hook and locked down and trapped? It's simple, right? Because if they can do that, they now have power and control over you. That's the narcissist's entire point. The purpose of everything they do, I'm telling you. When you boil it all down at the end of the day, it's what they want. What about the thing that happens at the end of the relationship or some period of time after? Doesn't always happen, but it does usually happen. The Hoover. If you've left an open door, if they think they can get back in any way, shape, or form, enough time has passed, whatever, they're generally going to try you in some way. Generally. And the reason they do that is people say to come back and finish you off. There's truth to that. But even the purpose of coming back is so they can once again get you ensnared and have what? Power and control over you. That's why if you finally have it with the narcissist, you've had enough, like I did, and they don't ever think you're going to leave. They truly don't think that you're their property in their minds, and they truly don't think you're ever going to completely leave and totally go no contact. They just don't think so, because most people don't. They're too trauma bonded. It's too difficult. They never figure out what they were dealing with, and they stay stuck. Many people do. So if you actually left, and I mean left, it blows their minds, and that causes usually an injury. And that's when you'll see panic sometimes. That's when you'll see vitriol. That's when you'll see angst. And they'll start doing every petty little minor thing they can do to spring up in your mind to try to get you somehow, some way, ensnared again. And for the sole purpose, it's for nothing else. They didn't miss you. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They don't value and appreciate you or anybody, and they never will. But what they did want to do is they missed the power and control, and they want that back again. You injured them by removing your presence because they no longer have power and authority and control over your life. And that's the thing they crave most above everything. So do you want to crush a narcissist? Especially one if you were really that person to them that they had invested as much as a narcissist can into you. You were the primary supply source, so to speak. If you pull away and disappear and withdraw all of your energy from them, that is an injury, and chiefly because they lost the power and control over a great person, which just filled them to the brim with satisfaction. These people, guys, are so unbelievably insecure. They feel powerless. They feel as though they have no power over anything. And I've heard other narcissists tell me that. I do this because it gives me a little bit of power. I feel like it gives me some control. I like to knock people down. I like to do this, that, or the other thing because it gives me a little control. Yes, I've heard it. You can get it out of them if you know what you're doing. And that is the thing they chiefly want above everything else. They feel powerless. They feel like they have no control over their lives or anything else. And there's various reasons why they get to be that way. I've covered that in different videos. But the chief part of it is the core. They don't feel like they have power and control over their lives. And so they must obtain that power and control over other people's lives. It's in the essence. It's the core makeup. It's the essential part of what they are, is to desire this. The narcissist's quest for power and control is endless, and it is the driving force of their lives. So, guys, I hope this made sense to you. Understand why they do what they do. And all of this nonsense, these narcissistic games and tactics and shenanigans, it all boils down to power and control. So guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Follow my work. Share it if you get a chance or you think you can help somebody with it. And also drop comments. You guys really have great ones. So I'll come at you with another one soon. Until then, God bless.